How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel where I give you all the hints and tricks you need to improve your game at FIFA Pro Clubs. In today's video, I'll be going through how to play out from the back against an aggressive high press. Right guys, so in case you haven't noticed, the meta this year and almost every year in FIFA 21 Pro Clubs is the high press. Any good team you come up against, they're going to push their strikers right up against your backline. They're going to push their midfielders right up. Their wide players are going to be 5 yards off your wide players. So when you have your goal kick, you've little other choice but to go long. Wrong. I'm going to give you 5 tips, 5 little guidelines on how you can consistently play out from the back without ever getting caught in possession. Tip number 1, use the meta builds. It's very simple. I know some people, they want to use that big 6'6" centre back, 190 pounds, big towering strong dude that wins everything in the air that no one gets past. Great. You'll do great. Once you keep dropping deep, you'll be fine. So eventually, as you progress, you're going to reach those higher level teams, that top tier pro clubs level, and they're going to high press. You're not going to be able to move when you get the ball when you're 6'6". You're not going to be able to get away from your marker. You're not going to be able to create space or give an option to the guy on the ball because you're too big, you're too slow, you've no agility. Stop. Make sure your player is agile. Make sure your player is as tall as he can be, but without hindering yourself. So for a centre back, 6'2", 6'4", pushing it, but you can do it. CDM, if you're going over 5'8", 5'10", you're done. You're done. The cam's going to have you in his back pocket every time you're trying to play out. Tip number 2, time your runs. This is particularly true for the CDMs and for the fullbacks. A lot of teams, when they're getting high press, what they'll do is they'll tell their midfield, oh, drop, come really deep, get close to the centre back so they have an easy ball out. Again, wrong approach. What's going to happen is they're just going to mark your CDMs all the way back, comfortably be close to them the whole time, so that when that ball is played from the centre back to the CDM, their cam, their other midfielder are going to be nice and close. Instead, what you do, instead of coming deep straight away, stay a little bit further away. They're going to mark up nice and tight because they're doing the high press. Your centre back gets the ball. Your CDM is going to be marked tight in the middle. However, you make that R2 sprint towards your centre back. You'll create 2 yards of space for yourself, and then you can receive the pass. There's no point being where you need to be before you need to be there, if that makes sense. Same for the fullbacks. From the goal kick, also you want your fullbacks nice and wide, not quite up by the halfway line, maybe 10 yards short of the halfway line. If you're any deeper than that, you're already where you need to be. No good. Centre back gets the ball, you're already marked. Instead, goalkeeper plays to the centre back. He looks to his fullback. Straight away, the fullback is sprinting back towards him. The guy who's marking him is now 10 yards behind him, and he can play that pass out. And the same goes as you're transitioning all the way up the pitch. Don't make your run into space too early. Make it when it needs to be made. Tip number 3, trust your CDMs. When we get on the ball, we're looking around, we're looking for a pass, and we're looking for someone in oceans of space. Against a high press, against good teams, oceans of space, take my word for it, 2 yards. That's it. If they have 2 yards space, they're in space, give them the ball. A lot of guys, they're looking around, they're looking for the pass, they're looking for the open guy, and eventually they lose it, and then they'll give out. It's like, oh, I had no pass on. Yes, you did. Your CDM's job in the team is to receive the ball in those tight little situations, do a little turn and pass it off again. If they can't do that, then you've got other issues in your team. But if you're a centre back, if you're a full back, if you're a cam, don't be afraid to pass to your CDMs, even if they're under a little bit of pressure. That's their job. Tip number 4, I say it in almost every video I've ever made. Awareness. You have to be aware of where players around you are. Not just opposition players, but your own players. Always know who your 3 main passing options are and know where they are all the time. So if you need to play a first time pass, you know which one is open. Don't be the CDM that's looking at the strikers all the time. So you get the pass, you're like, oh, where are my strikers? They're making a run. Can I play them in? No, don't even look at them. All you're looking at is the 3 players that are closest to you, no one else. Now, if you get the ball and you've got 10 yards of space and there's loads of room, then you can have a little look. Maybe I can play a saucy ball over the top. But other than that, always look for the 10-yard pass. Always be looking at the 3 players that are closest to you, where they are they able to receive the ball? Tip number 5, advance the play. Against a high press, if you keep passing it around your back line, keep dinking it forward to CDM, back to your fullback, back to your centre back, back to the goalkeeper, back up to midfield, and keeping the ball in that area where they're high pressing, you're just inviting pressure. Against a high press, all the space is in the centre of the pitch because they're pushing everyone up. Once you go past that press, there's going to be space. So you got to work it up into your cam as early as you can. So obviously your CDM, you get the ball, you look at your cam, is he open? That's the ball you want to play. If that's not on, then you go back. Then you can go to your centre backs. Then you go to the other wing. When the right mid gets the ball, has a look. Is the right striker on? Is the cam on? If he's not, I'll go back to my centre back. But always look first for the forward ball. And then if it's not on, come back. Don't get the ball, look at your cam, oh, he's not free. I'm just going to take a few touches and waddle around in here in midfield for a while. You're going to lose possession. It's literally get the ball, quick look, not open. Okay, move on. Next choice. Don't wait for a cam to get open. Don't wait for your striker to be open. If they're not open, the minute you get the ball, you got to go elsewhere. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find it useful, please leave a like or a comment. Have a good one.